everybody, it's Penny here for another episode of Foodie Friday, and it's a dreary, almost getting ready to storm day here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I have the munchies. I need some crunch factor in my life, but I want it to be healthier than just the standard chips that you would get at the grocery store. So I'm gonna tackle two recipes today. One is going to be an everything bagel flax cracker, and the other one is going to be a tropical delight cracker. Let's go into the kitchen and check it out. I have combined all of the ingredients, which I will give you the exact amounts in the description along with this video, but everything is in a big bowl, and then I am going to add in 1.5 cups of water and stir everything up. Since I am using one hand, I'll do my best. But we're just gonna let this mixture sit for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. And my goal here is for the flax seeds and the chia seeds really absorb water, is what I'm trying to say. So once they've done that and it's become a little gelatinous, then we're going to spread it out on a lined cookie sheet and we're going to bake it in the oven. You could obviously use a dehydrator if you wanted this to be a 100% raw cracker. It's already getting thick. I can already feel that it's starting to swell up and get thick. Perfect. I used my trusty offset spatula. I love it. It's one of my favorite kitchen tools. And I've spread the mixture onto a lined baking sheet. If you don't have one of these Silpat liners, they are awesome. Williams-Sonoma is where I got this. And it goes right onto the baking sheet. If you don't have it, just use parchment paper. It's fine. That's how thick I spread it out. And look how uniform that offset spatula makes it. So I'm putting this into a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes, and then we'll check it. While those everything bagel crackers are in the oven, I want to show you the ingredients for the tropical delight crackers. A cup and a half of flax seeds, hemp seeds. There is a fresh, ripe pineapple that I'm going to chop up, and about a cup of that will go into this mixture. Half a cup of cranberries. I'll chop up the apple. There is a little bit of vanilla and cinnamon and Himalayan salt. I will probably chop up 2 dates and add those into, once I get the water in here, and then I'll grate some fresh ginger into that, as well as adding about a cup of carrot pulp. Made carrot juice the other day, so I'm gonna put that carrot pulp to use. Tropical delight crackers coming up. Everything bagel has been in for about 15 minutes and I just pulled it out. I'm going to use a pizza cutter and I'm going to roll them into cracker shapes, flip them over and put them back in the oven for maybe another 10 or 15 minutes until they're nice and crispy. They're really easy to cut with a pizza cutter. If you don't, you can just use a knife, but this is worth the money for sure when you're making crackers. Okay, you have to be really careful and delicate when you do this job, when you are flipping them over and cutting them. They're not perfect, but they're pretty close. Back in the oven they go for about another, I'll say 20 minutes. Out of the oven, and I just tasted a little corner of one. They're delicious. I cooked them like that for 15 minutes. Then I flipped them over and cooked them for another 15 minutes. So basically the cook time altogether was 45 minutes to get where I wanted them to be. And while I was doing all that, I have mixed together the tropical delight. Look at that. So what you're gonna do on the apple and the pineapple and even the cranberry is you're gonna put a pretty fine dice on it. Because when you think about, how we're spreading the crackers out and the thickness of that, you don't want to have big, clumpy, big pieces of anything. So I chopped up the dates, the cranberries, the pineapple, and the apple, and I think it's going to be fine. I'll spread this out and see if we can't make some delicious crackers. It made so much. So basically I'm going to have 2 cookie trays full, but they should store just fine. Tropical delight is coming along. Now these crackers are just a little bit more persnickety than the other ones because of the fruit. So You just have to handle them a little more carefully, and you have to cut them gently and put them back in the oven and take them out and flip them over and put them back in and flip them over until you get just the consistency that you want. I decided to finish off the Tropical Delight crackers in the dehydrator option in my toaster oven, because I definitely feel like they were starting to get a little burnt around the edges, which I did not want. So we're just going to finish them off in there, and that way they'll be crispy, but they won't be burnt around the edges. So to be perfectly honest, if and when I make these again, because they are delicious, I'm going to start them and finish them in my main dehydrator, because I really feel like because of all of the fruit that's involved in this cracker, you want that fruit to become dry. You don't want it to become really overly cooked and burnt. You want it to be dry. So that's what we learned today, and I'm going to sit down and have a bite, see how they taste. Tropical Delight. Tomorrow, when they're all dried out, all I can think about is crumbling them up and putting them on top of yogurt with some fresh fruit, like a granola. It's delicious. I hope you'll try Everything Bagel cracker or Tropical Delight cracker. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Foodie Friday. I sure did.